Look, we have all seen them. The cheap Temu copycats, the AI generated slop that is flooding the marketplace right now and killing off the generic Etsy shops. And I genuinely believe that there is actually a real opportunity in this for you and I, and there is a way to win despite all of this in 2026 and beyond. And that's what I want to take you through in this video today. So, in case you don't know me, hi, I am Lauren. I have been selling on Etsy for over 10 years. I am a top 1% Etsy seller on the platform. And before all of that, I was working in e-commerce and retail marketing for huge multi-million pound brands across my career for over 10 years too. So I kind of know a thing or two about market shifts and what is going on in the market, and also what consumers really need to know and see and hear in order to trust you enough to buy from you. And that word, keep that in mind, trust, that is one of the big things that is going to be a topic of this video. Because here is the thing, right? Customers who are, potentially considering where they want to spend their money, who they want to spend their money with, where they want that money to go when they, with budgets are tighter than ever, we need to build trust in a very, very, very low trust digital world. And that is something that these copycats are not doing. So this is what I want to talk to you about in today's video. Because I actually think that a lot of people are either catastrophizing about this a little bit, or they're burying their heads in the sand entirely and not acknowledging it at all. And either of those options is not the option that we want to go for here. So I have been watching the market really closely. I've been watching what's shifting and what's changing. And I genuinely believe that there is so much space for us to win still on Etsy and beyond in 2026 as real, heart-led, soul-centered sellers who create our products, who love our products, who make our products because we are great at what we do, we are passionate about what we do, and we are not trying to game the system or make a fast buck online because that's what somebody on YouTube once told you can do. It's not the kind of advice you're going to hear from me. So, here is the reality, right? Etsy has always been a competitive marketplace. We have always been competing for visibility on those search result pages versus our competitors who generally are selling similar things to what we sell. But over the last few years, something has actually significantly shifted. We are no longer just competing with each other, but we've got the likes of Shein and Temu being able to produce at mass scale copycat products of what we are selling and get things out to market really, really quickly in a way that genuinely wasn't possible before. We have got people mass producing AI generated designs and putting them over onto the marketplace overnight. And not just that, but opening up the market to more people who maybe didn't have the skills to make certain products before, but now do. So what that generally means is that Etsy and the broader marketplace has just become more competitive and more noisy overall. And it is more saturated than it's ever been too. And look, I'm sure you've seen it too. You're probably searching for your competitors, you're having a look at what comes up, you are seeing tons of other shops selling really similar designs to what you're selling. Maybe they're also listing them at a fraction of the price, which can be super frustrating. And it is so frustrating and so disheartening to see, especially when you have poured years of time and effort and money and resources into perfecting your craft and getting really good at what you do. And on top of all of that, we are also in what is known as a trust recession, where consumers are genuinely wary of spending their money online and who they're spending their money with. Trust is at an all-time low. People are being burned left, right, and center. Remember back in the early days of like eBay, when people would think they were buying a really good value chair from eBay and it would come and it'd be this big. It's like that all over again, but people are being burned by the Shein and the Temu copycats and the AI mock-ups that don't look anything like the actual product that arrives. And so people are a lot more skeptical, they're a lot more wary, and they are a lot more discerning with where they are spending their money now. And it is ultimately changing the way that people are shopping too. And actually, I thought I would share something that happened recently that really brought this home for me. So I got this voice note from my sister, and she is a normal person. She is not a seller. She's just a consumer. She is shopping on Etsy. She's looking for birthday presents for my niece's first birthday. And she sent me this voice note that I haven't been able to stop thinking about. So I will play it for you now.
I, as a customer, despise Etsy with a passion. I was getting Lila a little cord backpack, and oh my God, trying to buy one was impossible. And they were all the exact same from different sellers. And you just think, you're getting it off Shein. I know you are. No, you are. Where are all the good people? There should be a filter.
That just about sums it up, right? So she sends me this message, and basically what she was saying was, I hate Etsy as a consumer. I absolutely cannot stand that I am trolling through listings. Everything looks the same. She also knows that they are coming from Shein and Temu because she is aware of those platforms too. And she's like, why am I, going to buy something from Etsy for 3 times the price as something that I can get on Temu when I can't actually guarantee that this is something that is worthwhile spending 3 times the price, because it actually is worthwhile. It's been handmade. It's been this, it's been that. It's actually a, valuable, ethical product that she wants to spend her money on. And why would she part with that extra money if she can get a cheaper alternative when she can't guarantee that the more expensive version is actually worthwhile for her? And the part at the end stuck out the most for me, where she said, "Where are all the good people at?" And I can absolutely understand what she means by this, right? Where are all the original sellers that have been selling for years, or the people who are amazing at their craft and have decided to start, coming to Etsy and start selling their products? Why are they not coming up first? And the reality of it is that the algorithm is going to promote the products that are selling the best, and often the products that are selling the best are the cheapest. That is true. But that doesn't mean that me and you need to be fighting for the cheapest spot. So that is a real buyer, someone who genuinely wants to support small businesses, but she can't tell the difference between a Temu copy and a Shein copy and the real deal. She doesn't know who to trust. She doesn't know who is real and who is genuine and who is just marking up a Temu copy for 3 times the price. And whilst, yes, Temu and Shein and all of these places and the sellers that are selling this stuff are part of the problem, there is a real part of the problem that is you as a seller too, who is not getting that across, who is not communicating why your products are worth the things that you are charging for them, why your product is the best choice, who your product is for, what you stand for, all of this stuff, right? This stuff needs to be coming across in your listing itself. But that right there is the problem. It is not that people are not buying right now. People want to buy, but they don't know who to buy from. And that is such a huge opportunity for you if you can position yourself and your products properly for those people. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, because yes, often the cheapest products are coming up pretty high in search. So yes, they are selling, and yes, their prices are laughably low, but no, you shouldn't be competing with them. And the reason is that the person that is only ever going to spend £2, £3, £4, £8 on the lowest possible priced item is not your customer if you are offering a bespoke, handmade, handcrafted item for £30 plus. Right? They were never going to buy from you in the first place. They probably wouldn't have been an Etsy customer in the first place. They'd have been buying from elsewhere because they would have thought of Etsy as expensive. We are absolutely not trying to go after the Temu and Shein customers. We are going after an entirely different customer who genuinely really values what you have to bring to the table, what your products offer, and they want to hear about it. They want to know about it. They don't want to spend on the cheapest item. They just want to make sure that if they are spending more, they're spending on the right things. They know that it's worth the value. They know that it's worth that extra money. Trying to compete with these Temu products and these Shein products is just fighting a losing battle. You are not going to win. They're going to keep undercutting you, and they're probably not making a huge amount of money anyway. And for me, I just can't understand why that would be a business model you would want to partake in. We don't want to race to the bottom to offer the cheapest possible options for a customer who was never going to value your craft anyway. We are going after the customer who absolutely wants to spend that money with us. We just need to make sure we're positioning our products correctly to that customer to make sure she understands why we are the right choice. Because your perfect customer is the person who values what you have to offer, your craftsmanship, your craft itself, your values, your brand, the identity behind your products, how your products make them feel, how you make them feel, the connection to you as a brand and as the person behind the business. They are looking for something real and considered and really worth the purchase. She exists. There are tons of her out there. They are the core foundational people of the Etsy shopper base, not these new people that are coming in and buying the cheapest possible products out there. That isn't an Etsy customer, a true Etsy customer. Your customer is me. She's my sister. She's these people who are looking for this stuff, but she's having a really hard time finding you because of all of the noise out there, and that is what we need to fix. So when I look at this landscape, I see two sellers who are emerging right now. I see the seller who is panicking, who is trying to compete, who is lowering her prices, who is trying to copy what seems to be working for other people, chasing trends, pumping out new products, trying to compete with everybody else on Etsy. And honestly, that is exhausting to watch because it is the literal race to the bottom. And then there are the sellers who have gone the opposite way. They're putting the prices up. They are getting so clear on who they are, what they stand for, and who they are for. And they are building something that is so distinctly theirs that when their customer finds them, and they will, because they're out there, it is an instant yes. They are obsessed with the products. They are obsessed with their brand. They are not even considering the purchase. They're hitting checkout and they are coming back time and time again because they've finally found someone they can trust and they love to shop with. So they are your two options. Race to the bottom, slash your prices, try and compete with everybody else, and ultimately probably come out with having done a hell of a lot of work and not very much profit. And then option two is to build your brand. And your brand is what protects you in any circumstances. It protects you in a crowded market. It protects you in a trust recession. It protects you when consumer spending is wobbly. And not just that, but it makes your decisions in your business so much easier. Your business becomes easier to run, everything makes more sense, and everything feels more coherent. And that is why I am a brand first kind of gal. Now, when I talk about your brand, I do not mean your logo, I do not mean your color palette. So many sellers get this wrong. They think that a pretty logo and a pretty banner and a pretty color palette that kind of ties your shop together and makes it feel cohesive, they think that that's a brand. That is not your brand. That's your brand aesthetics, that's your brand visuals, that's your brand colours, etc. But that is not what we are talking about today. Your brand is the essence of what makes someone choose you over somebody else. It's being so clear about what you stand for and who you are for that when the right person finds you, they feel like you made your products and your business just for them. It is the reason that someone buys once and then comes back time and time and time again. It is the reason that people leave 5-star reviews, rave reviews. They keep telling their friends about them. It's the reason that you get referrals where somebody comes to you and goes, oh, I bought from you because XYZ person loved your products. That is the essence of your brand. And that is what I am seeing cutting through all the noise right now. It is not the cheapest listings. It is not the businesses with the biggest social media followings. It is the sellers with a clear, consistent, genuine brand that cuts through all of that noise and gets right to the heart of who they are for and why choose them. It is the sellers with a clear, consistent, genuine brand that their customers can instantly recognize and trust. And the best news is that building a brand is something that you can do regardless of what's going on with AI, regardless of what's going on with the Temu copies. It is something that you don't even need a budget for. You don't need to spend a load of money on. It just requires real clarity on who you are, what you stand for, and who you are for. Like I've said about 5 times by now. Can you see the pattern here? So here is one thing that I want you to do this week. Go to Etsy, search for your products, and have a look at what's coming up on the top pages. Go into an incognito browser, so into a private browser, so that you have a little bit less data behind your Etsy shop, because side note, and I won't go into this in this video, but we do know that Etsy is very good at tailoring listings to you based on what you previously looked at, searched for, etc. So your products are probably going to come up in your own searches. Do this in an incognito window. Just search for the product that you sell. And I want you to be really honest with yourself, open up some of those listings and compare your products and ask yourself, is there something different about what you are offering? And I'm not talking about looking at your price. I'm talking about looking at whether you are conveying the right message through your photos, your title, your description. Does your product feel like a premium product in a marketplace full of very low cost items? Does your product feel like something that screams that it has been made for a very specific type of person? Would your dream customer look at your product and go, oh my God, that is exactly what I was looking for? Because if the answer to any of those questions is no, then that's where we're going to need to start doing a little bit of work. And honestly, this is the most important thing you can do right now. I've talked in the past about how perfect SEO is dead. This is more important than your SEO. This is more important than anything else. Your product positioning and presenting your products as the best possible choice for your customers, this is the absolute vital stuff in the current economy. And if this resonated with you and if it makes you feel like, oh my God, yes, this is the problem I've been facing, and even if you have been secretly thinking about lowering your prices, I want you to stop right there, then let me know in the comments, because if this is something that a lot of sellers feel like they are struggling with, then I want to share with you in my next video a framework that's going to help you to figure out exactly how to present your products in the right possible way for your customers to make sure that they understand who you are for and understand that you were made for them. And I'll see you in a follow-up video.